Hi, I'm Jameson Newlander, Alan Frog from the Lost Boys, and you're watching the Frog Brothers Podcast.
What's we doing running from a spooky ghost?
It's refreshment time, folks.
Are either one of these any good?
Do you like scary movies?
I don't watch movies.
I have to return some videotapes.
You have a TV? No. I just like to read the TV guide. Read the TV guide. Don't need a TV.
Books, records, films, these things matter. Call me Shell. It's the fucking truth.
Over 1,600 titles, each for rent at just $2 the first night, and only
finish him.
I don't watch TV.
Yeah, but you are aware that there's an invention called television, and on this invention they show shows, right?
Watch a few movies, take a few notes.
Okay, I want channels 18, 24, 63, 109, 87, and the Weather Channel.
Welcome to the Frog Brothers Podcast with your hosts, Justin and Alec.
Hello, and welcome to episode 100 of the Frog Bros Podcast.
Wow, 100?
Oh my God.
oh my god.
Who would have thought you'd have been putting up with us for this long, but we're still here.
In less than 2 years, too.
100 episodes, less than 2 years, and really, if you include all the bonus episodes and everything else, we're well past 100, but...
Yeah.
Some of what you are about to see and hear is explicit.
Most of which.
But we appreciate everyone sticking around with us this long, and if you're just joining us, welcome to the show. Appreciate you taking the time to check us out.
Welcome.
Tonight, you may notice a plethora of Jurassic Park goods in front of us.
Goods and services.
Mm-hmm.
And we're fucking talking about Jurassic Park, but we'll get to that in just a little bit.
Do it.
First, let's do a little show and tell, shall we? A little show and tell for anybody?
Do it.
I forgot it growls.
I got the Crypt Creepers Ecto Ghouler. I got number 37 of 50. So if you're
37?
37, I know, that's great. I think they did that on purpose.
They know you suck a lot of dick.
On parking lots, usually. Also got some Dixon Ticonderoga.
I got some dicks.
Pencils.
This is a snakeskin jacket.
These are vintage pencils, and they're used on the Proton Pack.
The iron rod.
Oh. No, not the iron rod.
That's not what they use for the iron rod?
It's the ladder.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's what those are on there. So I think I might make a more accurate one for mine, because mine has a little Novos things in it, and says Novos instead of Dixon, because they didn't want to pay the rights. Yeah.
Fuck them. They don't even exist anymore.
But I got 12 of those, so I can make plenty. And then, oh yeah, we can't forget the Jurassic Park can. Now,
Barbasol.
Chronicle Collectibles.
There goes
Rip.
Tim.
Rip Tim, too. Chronicle Collectibles went out of business. Sideshow Collectibles bought a lot of the Jurassic Park products and things they'd been working on. I did not get their version of the Barbasol can, but I did get this one for your paraphernalia. Doesn't twist off, it pops off, but I think I'm going to mod this can.
Can you twist it? Can you pop it and make it look like you're twisting?
Pop it.
Probably.
Twist it. Pull it.
Doesn't come with
Does it squirt shaving cream too?
No, it doesn't.
That's my favorite sex music is the Bop It commercials.
But I thought this is pretty good, because I've seen a bunch of these safe cans before.
Bop it.
And they have the newer Barbasol logo, but I found this one
Spit
on
on
Amazon for pretty cheap, so cool little prop replica.
Fucking A, man.
And fuck Tim, man, because he's down for the count. Nick, you're going to fucking knock over the T-Rex, and we all know that Tim lays on the ground a lot more than the T-Rex does.
Shit-eating son of a bitch!
I've got other stuff lately, too. I don't know what. It's hard to remember sometimes.
I
Shit
have...
just shows up to my house, and I'm like, oh, yeah.
The only thing I purchased was Paul, because Walmart had it in the 374 bin. And I enjoy that one enough. That's the director of Superbad, but Simon Pegg and Nick Frost are in it, and they wrote it, as opposed to usually Simon Pegg writes the movie with Edgar Wright that they're in together. So this is kind of like a movie where it tricks you into thinking it's going to be something like that, but it's a little bit different, and obviously Seth Rogen's Paul.
Yeah, it's a fun flick.
Jason Bateman, Sigourney Weaver, Kristen Wiig, Seth Rogen, obviously Nick Frost, Simon Pegg. It's a fun little movie, and for $3 I was like, sure, I don't have that one. I like Aliens.
Uh-oh.
And then this came in the mail, finally. My Sports Illustrated football phone.
You hit that. Is it okay?
It's what?
You hit that with the...
Oh, let me see. Looks like it is.
Okay.
We're a little off. This should be slid over further. Let's see.
You knocked it over with your notebook, so I was afraid that you disconnected it.
No, we're good.
Okay.
As long as it's not just continuously jumping. When we get silent, it needs to stop jumping. We're good. But anyway, I got these in the mail, and they're pretty slick. I enjoy these. I haven't opened them yet, but I think, some of them might become part of the podcast set at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Because, we have a lot of wires hanging around they can grab onto.
Yeah, pull your wires.
Mm-hmm. I'm also going to add these on my OnlyFans. These are going to be definitely the faces when they're looking at my... What is massive to them penis anyway.
Have them hugging your dong and climbing it? Is that going to be on your OnlyFans?
Or giving it that face. Ooh.
Hopefully you're watching some of this for the gratuity.
Yeah, the annoying...
Gratuitous, not gratuity. I'm thinking like...
But leave some gratuity.
Yeah, leave gratuity on this OnlyFans.
On the Patreon.
Speaking of, if you're listening to this, join our Patreon. It's new.
There's some exclusive
There's links on our social media for it. And probably in the, we're going to add it to this episode's description and every episode now moving on. So
for $3.50.
300 cents a month. That's
Can
$3
you make
whole
it
dollars.
What?
No, we're just doing 3.
It's going to be $3, and we're going to do commentaries, at least one a month, but we're going to try to do maybe 2 a month, I think. It's really not that bad. There's no prep. It's just the time that we take to record it. That's the good thing about commentaries. There's no prep for it, I noticed. You just set up and fucking... go.
Yeah, so you'll get some commentaries that'll be exclusive to the Patreon tier and some behind-the-scenes content, too, just us setting up or just have whatever other kind of
Our
thoughts we
first
have.
commentaries, I think we can tell people, just to lure them in, the first one we recorded was Ghostbusters from 1984.
You're going to be surprised by which were chosen.
Yeah, I bet you can't guess the second one.
What's the second one?
The Lost Boys.
We're both in this.
So, those are our bread and butter, as we like to call them.
Those are the logo movies.
So we're going to do more going on forward. Probably our big hits. We're going to do some Back to the Future. We'll do a Jurassic Park at some point. We'll do Scream. We'll do, Nightmare on Elm Street. We'll do Twister.
Yeah, we're not doing commentaries in the way that a lot of people will try to overly come at you with facts and other stuff. That's the director's
we come
commentary.
about the facts that we kind of know about it.
This is a fact-free podcast.
Definitely not.
No, we're not.
We spewed out a lot of fucking facts, but we're not just trying to do that. We're trying to give our personal perspective on it too, and just ramble on.
Yeah,
about what we
it. Sometimes we get
Sometimes
off topic
we talk
too.
about things that have nothing to do with.
Like
the
in
movie.
Lost Boys, we talked about a lot of clothes, but
Yeah.
You'll have to go pay us $3 to listen to that. And if you do, by March 15th, you'll be entered in a contest, a drawing.
Drawings.
A drawing, if you will. The drawing, you see, in the drawing, you will be entered to win a set. A set, that's right, 2 of the World's Fair New York Flushing Meadows coins.
It's okay, I've got another one at home. And we're making sure you can have one on your person at all times and one at home safe.
You can give it to someone when you think they're going to die.
Yeah.
2 turtle doves.
Exactly, that's what I think of.
Right, every time I think of a pair of them, I'm just thinking Home Alone 2, Lost in New York.
You can go find a homeless woman in New York who's covered in pigeons and give it to her.
Yeah, surprisingly,
Pigeon
for
shit.
all the pigeons she has, she's not covered in shit. So fucking props to her for managing that so well.
Yeah.
Fucking movie magic, man. I love it.
True.
Hey, so there's some news we got to talk about here. So do we want to get into the gloomy world part first, or we wanted to get into the fun shit?
Bad news first.
Yeah, bad news first,
Okay.
because then I can be positive afterwards.
So there's a lot of stuff going around, and if you followed any of the Ghostbusters groups, you'll see a lot of groups are posting the
Ukrainian soldier with the Ghostbusters
the Ukrainian
patch.
soldier with the Ghostbusters logo. It's not a regular Ghostbusters logo. It's probably the Commie-Busters patch. They were big in the late 80s. They're a thing. You can find vintage ones for sale online through Etsy, eBay, whatever else. So it's not just that they love Ghostbusters as their favorite movie and they're wearing it on their patch. I get the solidarity around that, but you kind of need to know the facts and circumstances around that before you just look like a uncultured swine. And that kind of leads us into that topic of, holy shit, I hope World War III doesn't happen.
Yeah. I'm going to watch Red Dawn.
Basically. Both versions?
I actually like the remake, but not like all the way through.
Okay.
Like about
that's fair.
75% of it's pretty entertaining for what it is. Chris Hemsworth and Josh Peck do a pretty decent job of holding their own. They are certainly no Patrick Swayze and Charlie Sheen, but the thing is that the original one, everybody dies. All those characters basically died. Maybe 2 are left at the end, but it's pretty ambiguous whether or not they die, I think. And I think they just die. So, and the other one, everybody lives.
Yeah, that's kind of...
It's lame. And they slowly die off
do these endings
in the other one. Like, not just, all at the end all of a sudden. Or
With all this going on, though, it's legit, like, keeps you up at night bullshit going
Wolverines! That's our vibe here.
Yeah.
For the Ukrainians.
So we're hoping they handle that well. And
they seem to be so far, but... it just fucking sucks in general. There's a lot of people dead already that didn't need to be dead. And, we're not here to, get all political on you. We just don't hold back our political opinions, but it doesn't mean we're a political podcast. We're not about to spend an hour on this, but we figured we'd at least mention it. It is news, and it's a big thing that a lot of people are worrying about. We're all kind of a little...
If you're feeling anxious and you're worried about it and it's on your mind and you're thinking of every worst-case scenario that could possibly happen... Don't worry, you're not alone, because it's fucking terrifying to some degree. But we're going to go back to our regularly scheduled...
Well, real quick, just at the end of that, I want a quick bulletin on that for you. I've already decided my apocalypse situation, but I'm throwing this out there now. If you have a motorcycle and you think, maybe if the world ends, I'd eat people, then I have a motorcycle gang for you to join. If this becomes nuclear winter, you'll probably need to stop by the local sex shop instead of, maybe the grocery store or the gun store, but that's fine. You can need a BDSM outfit, basically.
He's got to
need that.
You got to get your leather clothes.
Yeah, pretty much. And
Unless you
a
already have
motorcycle of some sort. I don't have a motorcycle, but I'll find one. That's just the
You stop by the Harley
contingency
Davidson
plan.
store and get some chaps.
And, I just don't feel like starting to eat animals again, and I might have to do some eating of something for the apocalypse.
And probably hunting you.
Well, so are the humans. But that's what I plan to be. I'm going to be a mutated cannibal man. Maybe I'll grow a 6-foot dick and have to wheelbarrow. You got a wheelbarrow or something?
The hills have Alec is basically what this is going to be.
The hills have Alec. That's a movie we need to make. Actually... really want to do that now. Just splice myself into that movie.
As a random character,
shit.
Yeah, just breathing.
Just doing weird shit. That's a fucked up movie, though.
I was going to say, on that note, we return to our regularly scheduled programming of nonsense, and Alec has already done that for us, so thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
I need this motorcycle gang to be successful, so, spread the word, and we will strike fear into the hearts of everyone.
So, late-breaking news, Plan B, Brad Pitt's movie company has supposedly...
They're talking about the morning after pill.
That, too. But, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what his uses for that are.
My butt can't get pregnant. Let's just say that.
Amen, brother.
At least it hasn't yet, anyway.
No, I was going to say, it's acquired the rights, supposedly, to Beetlejuice 2. That's kind of breaking news on Deadline and Screen Rant, so... Take that as you will for the news, but Winona Ryder and Michael Keaton have reportedly signed on. So obviously, this is as long gestating a sequel as just about any out there.
They talked about it a couple different times, I remember. So it's been just baited over the years.
It seems like every 5 years this one comes up. It's not like they don't have Dan Aykroyd out there like selling it like.
Gee, boy, I want to do a teenage Beetlejuice movie.
Yeah. Gee, I'd really like to see Beetlejuice go to Hawaii and go surfing, man. I could really imagine.
He'd probably drink some vodka there.
He'd probably drink some Skull vodka while he's surfboarding around the town.
Maybe he sees a UFO, I don't know. Maybe he's on a Canadian motorcycle in the woods, who knows?
Exactly. So that's kind of what I'm expecting there. Hopefully that happens. I would love to see that.
Greg Sestero's scouting film locations for his UFO movie.
I know. I love it.
Saw photos of that. He's in White Sands.
Yes,
that's
looks
pretty
amazing.
cool. That's pretty cool too. We interviewed him. If you haven't checked it out, you should go check that out.
Stranger Things 4 is going to be released in 2 parts, May 27th and July 1st. That's kind of old news.
Finally got a date on that though, and
the dates, is what we finally have. And then Chucky 2 teaser poster dropped today.
Yeah, that's cool too. I'm down. That show, I fucking loved it. Did you guys ever watch the whole thing or?
Yeah, I finally finished it. It's great. I love the way it ended. I think
It's close to being one of my favorite Chucky things. Like,
Oh, that's not saying a lot.
well, it's not, but like I like Bride of Chucky, and a lot of people think it's fucking trash after that, or they hate. They only like the
Bride
first
of
three.
Chucky's,
Well, it gives you one of those things. You get character development outside of those other people that Chucky's interacting with, right? Because Chucky's hilarious on his own, and I'd love to see more of that other character development around him. So I think that's going to work.
They did lots of interesting things in this one, and it just did it for me. So,
I mean, I think we're at that point in time, though, where the streaming model has given people the opportunity to, like, hey, maybe we don't need another tentpole film for this. Maybe we can do something different and actually do some character development, do those things. So I'm excited about where that
please,
can head.
somebody see this, and let's get Robert Englund in a miniseries now, before it's too late.
Yes.
He could still do it, and I bet he would do it one last time.
Like
Like
he wants
now,
to.
yeah, that's what I mean. Like, you don't have to do a movie even.
Hey,
Do a miniseries. It'd
When
be
he
better.
came on the Goldbergs and did the Freddy, that was fucking glorious. So let's never discount that. That was a good callback there. That's most of my news for the day, though, really, besides the world possibly ending in nuclear war, China invading Taiwan possibly, and pretty much that's it.
Might have
The
died
Batman
even.
comes out this week, though. I'm going to see that on Thursday, probably.
We gotta watch that before the apocalypse.
I really just need to watch that before it gets fucking spoiled.
Well, we saw Ghostbusters Afterlife, so I can get to the apocalypse. But honestly, you could have killed me beforehand. My opinion was better then.
We still had high hopes.
Exactly. I was way more hopeful. Not to say anything, negative, but I definitely was like,
It's not the worst legend.
I'm far
Legacy
enough
sequel.
away at this point. I can be like, I like it, and I'm definitely gonna watch the shit out of it. I still like all the things I bought from it, collected it. Some of the experiences were the best of my life.
Yeah, I enjoyed the merchandising.
Fun times, fun hype. Finally, a third in the series. I get all that.
It was fun going to the theater.
But I just can't. I won't ignore the faults as all.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, there's a lot of people that are still riding that high, like at the top of. They're like, "Oh, there's nothing wrong with this movie."
They got
like,
snubbed by the Oscars.
yeah, that's not the case. I'm sorry. It's a good film. It's fun. It
When
quenches
people-
the thirst, but it's not like that life-changing and life-shattering movie that it had potential to be. But that's not to say that that's also unrealistic expectations by a lot of people.
Well, that struck a nerve.
Anyway,
somebody's pissed off listening to this.
oh, I guarantee it, because there's people out there that are
Don't
like, "Oh, there's
break.
nothing wrong with it," and you're like,
I
"No."
have a strong psychic belief.
That someone listening to this is super pissed off. But hey,
Your opinion,
throw your
my
phone.
opinion.
Don't throw your phone.
We didn't tell you to change your opinion. I just told you mine.
Keep listening. Actually, go subscribe to the Patreon.
Let us know how much you hate us.
Yeah. So, what are we gonna do here?
Let's do this top 5.
Top 5. We haven't done
All right. Well, let me get to my musical section.
Hells
and
yeah!
then
Play the James.
I will stop
pump it up.
delaying and hit the button.
Top 5, 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 top 5.
This is top 5.
This is top 5.
Top 5. We haven't done one of these in a minute, and
It's 100th episode though, so come on.
yeah, we gotta
We
go.
gotta do the classics.
We gotta go old school here with this one.
And I feel like we may have done this at some point before, but we're gonna do it anyway.
No, I searched
all of them.
I searched the database. There was no top 5 Jim Carrey movies.
Oh, well, we're doing top 5 Jim Carrey movies today.
Spoiler alert: Nick said it like nonchalant, and then Alec had to like come in with some pizzazz and be like, "Yeah, Jim Carrey movies."
Oh, Jim Carrey!
I could see our mascot Booger in the other room, and he was wiggling his ears, all heroic and majestic, looking at our weird cartoon radio voices. Is this the vomit scene from Team America World Police, where it goes on so long that it stops being funny and then
They're
gets
gonna
funny
turn it
again?
off. They're gonna turn us off.
Yeah, no, they're not.
I had to mute that motherfucker. Yeah. He's still in the
Luckily, they
background.
want to hear our top 5 Jim Carrey movies.
All right, number 5.
Lungs of steel when you smoke the weed.
Number 5, Nick. What's your number 5 Jim Carrey flick?
This is number 5 is the least liked.
Smoke weed every day.
I put Ace Ventura: When Nature Calls.
That's fair.
Gotta love that Ace Ventura.
Number 5 was the toughest one for me. I ended up saying Man on the Moon.
Pretty good.
Forgot about that one too.
That's a good one.
That's good.
Pretty.
But the fucked up thing about that
Don't do
one,
that.
it's almost just the behind-the-scenes documentary about Jim Carrey becoming that character in that movie that really works for me. So to me, it's twofold with that documentary and...
Pretty.
Yeah, he was annoying behind the scenes, right? And
well, yeah, there's a documentary about it on Netflix.
Yeah, I watched it.
Yeah, he basically became the character and was just an asshole.
And I'm now having trouble thinking of that guy's name, which Andy Kaufman. I love him.
Yeah.
He's hilarious, and the weird taxi shit that I watched about his. I've been meaning to just rewatch that whole show. I haven't ever seen it all the way through. I've seen random episodes, but
there's a lot of good cast
Pretty
members
good.
in there.
there you go. Completed it for you.
What's your number 5, Alec?
My number 5 is Ace Ventura,
The first one?
Pet Detective.
Okay, that's fair.
I figured I had to include it. As a kid, I watched this. I wore this shit out on VHS. So, just be a disservice not to include it.
Number 4,
It started
Nick.
it all for him. I put Me, Myself, and Irene, which I forgot about till you guys reminded me.
Why are you paying like you had sex?
We flopped that thing.
Price check on VeggieClean, aisle 12.
Well, she'll be eating blubber as soon as I free Willie.
What's the matter? A little too much cheese in the taco?
That's such a fucked up movie. Like, the jokes are so raunchy in it. I haven't seen
Somebody's
that in
baking a loaf of bread, and it smells like sourdough.
Yeah, there's just so many in there. Okay. My number 4 is Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. Love that movie. As depressing as it is, it's like a really good performance.
I only watched it when it first came out on home video, so I need to.
I saw it in theaters, and I've seen it a bunch since. I haven't watched it in a while because, like I said, it's a depressing movie, but I got to be in a certain mental headspace to review that one so I don't throw off my vibe.
My number 4 is Eternal Sunshine.
He wasn't in X-Files.
It was Eternal Sunshine. Yeah, that's another one. I can't watch this one a lot either because it's fucking so depressing and it gets me. But I love it.
I need to watch it
It's
again
really
with
good.
my 38-year-old mind.
It's still dark, man.
What year did it come out? 01? 03?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, I think 03 maybe.
I was still barely an adult. So.
Little youngin.
You still barely act like an adult, but I guess that's all
legally,
of us.
I was
if you look at our toy collection,
I
you're
was
like, "These are
barely
grown
legal.
men."
Now I'm fully legal.
It's fine though. It's fine.
We at 3?
Yeah, number 3.
Cable Guy.
That's my number 3 as
It was
well.
very hated at the time. I think it came out by a lot of people. Like this isn't Dumb and Dumber.
Directed by Ben Stiller, Black Jack in there. I love how dark it is
Black
compared
Jack.
to some of his other stuff at the time, right?
Jack Black.
For him, like that was one of the first.
Did he say Black Jack?
I said Black. I didn't even think twice about it. There's a gambling guy in this. There's a
and Leslie Mann, right?
Yeah, you do see how this might make us look bad, right?
It doesn't make anyone look bad besides me looking ignorant, so I accept accountability for that.
Oh.
Thanks.
Well, my number 3 is The Truman Show.
That's a good one.
I saw that at the theater.
Jim Carrey, man, in this movie, it's top fucking notch. Like, it's a wonder that this isn't my number 1, honestly. I'm kind of rethinking that right now. But it might be, actually. But it's either way, it's listed in my number 3 spot right now, so that's what we're going with.
Fair enough.
It was kind of prophetic a little bit because that was kind of before all the reality.
Well, he did
shows,
2 of
wasn't
those TV movies, basically. Cable Guy and Truman Show. Where they're both TV-centric, very much centric. So,
what's your number 2, Nick?
Ace Ventura, Pet Detective.
Very fascinating.
The first one.
Good call.
You're stoned out of your mind, man.
My number 2 is Dumb and Dumber. That's a fucking amazing film. And
You're a smart motherfucker. That's right.
I never get tired of that one. So that's my number 2.
my number 2 is Cable Guy. It fucking hits home, man. It's like emotional somehow for me because I'm also deranged from TV and fucked up home life.
We're not gonna lie. Like the TV was our babysitter lots of times, right?
More than that.
Well, why do you think we fucking love movies so much? Because we're like, here, go watch a movie and leave me alone.
The TV was my babysitter, my lover,
your parent,
my father and my brother, my sister and my dog. Because I pet the TV. I don't know where I'm going.
Because I pet
was
the
that
TV.
For the sister or the dog?
Don't.
That's enough. No.
Just don't.
Just don't. What's your number one, Nick?
Holy shit! Where's the Tylenol?
Dumb and Dumber.
Dumb and Dumber. Why is that number one?
It's a Fairley Brothers movie. It's a road trip movie, and
Fuck it!
it's got a lot of stupid humor, and it's got the shag and wagon.
It's also my number one. I think it's just Jim Carrey at like peak performance of weird.
And no other movie does two men freeze together from urine.
Well, my number one is Ace Ventura: Pet Detective.
Yeah, I struggle with number 1 and 2 on that.
That's an easy one. So as a kid, like our fucking
that was timed perfect. You said as a kid, and I said a child.
Our family always wanted to watch Ace Ventura: When Nature Calls, which is a funny sequel, but I just don't like that as much as the first one. The first one has enough other stuff in there.
The first one's better.
I'd compliment it for being different.
Yes,
it wasn't
did.
like a carbon copy.
Yeah, no, they did good.
That
it's
was
like
the-
it's one of those ones that's right up there with it. And it is hard to say which one's really better, but I think the first one's just a slight notch above it.
The first one has enough people like playing kind of straight roles that it works. You know, like the Dan Marino cameo is great in it.
Well, everybody's pretty straight other than Ace, right?
We get the Ghostbusters librarian is Ray Finkel's mom.
And Ace is out.
Dan Marino should
Would you
die of
like a cookie,
gonorrhea
son?
and burn in hell. I mean, there's so many quotable lines in that, and it's just such an absurd concept.
Take your pants off instead.
You also have Marilyn as the psychiatrist.
Oh, yeah.
Alrighty then.
No, Jim Carrey's got some great stuff in there, and like you look at the list, there's so many things you could mention. Bruce Almighty.
Yeah, my honorable mentions are
He mentions one.
Batman Forever. I mean,
fuck,
honestly,
I didn't-
he's great in that.
Yeah.
It's cartoony as fuck, and he's wild, and
I didn't even think of that. I still wouldn't put it
he's
in
the
my
best
top.
part of that movie.
Liar Liar is great. Yes Man
Yeah, Liar
is
Liar would probably be
okay.
number 6 for me.
I like The Mask. I didn't put Me, Myself, and Irene on my list. And
Well,
The
Mask might
Grinch.
be
The
six.
Grinch is solid.
Grinch is good. I saw that at the theater also.
Same.
You know what? One just doesn't hold up well for me though. That you think a lot of people would have. The Mask. The Mask is just.
I enjoy it so.
It's fun, but it's not one of those that I'm like, ooh, I need to watch The Mask. Like if it comes
doesn't
on,
hold up for me as an adult as much, I think, compared to the other ones.
I still like it.
To me, it almost feels like a little bit like Who Framed Roger Rabbit with some of the animation style and stuff,
Yeah, well, I
theatrics
think
in it.
that's on purpose.
But I don't think it holds up to that level of Who Framed Roger Rabbit. I mean, I still like it, but it's just one of those that just didn't make the list because.
God, you're gonna make me do this?
Fuck yeah,
That's like
dude! My
4
voice been
times in
cracking
that.
all day. I was talking to somebody at work and I
You
did it
wanna
like
hurt me?
3 times, and someone's like,
Go right ahead.
You're
if it makes you
okay?
feel any better?
He's going through menopause.
Menopause.
Or andropause. Andropause.
Son, your ego is writing checks your body can't cash.
Just clicking button.
No, that makes sense because his voice squeaked.
Yeah.
His body can't cash the check.
My voice just cracks. Discriminatory pricks.
Yeah.
All right,
All
so
right, good top 5, everybody.
good times. You want to take a shower?
You
Oh,
know what
I meant
just
if you want to
watched?
go first.
Me pulling a can off some moron's fist?
Return of the Jedi. Did you see Alien? When that creature was in that guy's stomach?
Oh my god!
You ever seen that really old movie? Empire Strikes Back?
Jesus, Tony.
Welcome to Retro Release
Reviews.
The year is 1993.
Is it? Have I been traveled through time?
Yes, you have.
Good. 'Cause I'm fucking done with this shit.
Good.
I need to be a baby again.
I have pulled your blood from the mosquito of.
Send me back to 1993 so I can kill myself then.
Jesus Christ!
You died inside Amber.
Who's Amber?
Poor girl.
That sounds kind of hot. I mean, I'm down with that.
I just died in your arms tonight, and your
Died in your
amber
amber.
tonight must have been something I said.
Interesting. That's a choice. That's a take. That is that. Jurassic Park.
So there's some controversy around Jurassic Park.
There's no feathers.
No, not that.
And certain dinosaurs lived millions of years apart and didn't actually coexist.
Well,
Alan Grant is way older than Ellie Sattler.
Uh-huh. Yeah, no, that's not it.
He's like 18 years older than her or some shit.
Well, he's got a...
I don't know exactly the numbers. Maybe not that high.
Got to give himself a college.
No, it's just
age
funny.
girl.
It's something you don't notice as a kid. Like they do this in movies all the time, where it's like a young actress in her 20s and an old dude in his 40s or 50s even.
It's always
like Bond movies.
But that motherfucker, Sam Neill, is aged like a goddamn fine wine.
Oh, let me get my Viagra.
Have you seen him in the fucking trailers of Dominion? And you're like, damn.
Yeah, I would still fuck him.
Yeah, his hair's a little whiter, but that's about it.
He's got that fluffy
So what's
white
the
Santa Claus
controversy?
beard. The controversy is that Michael Crichton allegedly...
Wait, I know the controversy. Dodgson is a pedophile.
Oh, the real life Dodson is a pedophile. That's why he's been recast in the new movie.
Yeah.
With a different...
Wait, probably don't say the word again. Don't say it again. I don't think we're probably supposed to...
yeah.
YouTube will probably be pissed at us for saying that. I bleep it, but it's the P word. I need to remember that.
We'll use a
Bleep
different
it.
word. They replaced him with another person who you don't know is...
The man that played Dodson is not allowed within a certain footage of schools.
That is a man's head.
There's some controversy that Michael Crichton ripped off the concept for the genetically engineered dinosaurs, which...
From what?
It's another book, I believe. So, obviously, it didn't do as well. It's really fucking hard to find. It's out of print, so...
Yeah,
I'm
but
forgetting it right now.
That's like a very basic part of the premise, though. He didn't rip it off from a dinosaur book, right? I mean...
No, it was genetically engineered dinosaurs in another book.
Also,
okay.
Carnosaur was written before Jurassic Park. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, that's it. I was having a hard time remembering.
Carnosaur was turned into a movie that came out after Jurassic Park.
But the other one didn't sell very well, so he figured he could...
Basically,
or maybe it was
yes.
written before Jurassic Park. I can't remember what it is.
No, it was...
If it came
Carnosaur,
out,
the book
I don't know if
came
it was
out...
published first or not. I can't remember now, but...
The other book was written first, and the movie came out afterwards, because after Jurassic Park was adapted, then they went with that route.
I need to get those movies.
And isn't there a dinosaur video game that's kind of like that same kind of concept, very much Resident Evil, but...
Turok?
No, not Turok. It was something else. I'm forgetting it right now anyway. That's besides the point. But, people bought the rights to the movie for this, obviously. Steven Spielberg wanted to make this a movie. Spielberg wanted to make this a flick.
Oh, Spielsy boy.
Started negotiating, I believe, in 91 to get the rights to this. And then they had a couple of takes on the book, or the adaptation. Michael Crichton helped write several of those, but he did not help write the final draft. Obviously, there's some pretty big changes from the book to the flick, but we're gonna get into it.
The flick.
I want to hear about that, because I've never read the book.
Are you fucking serious? Do you know how to read? Mm-hmm. Except I know how to read.
Even if I didn't, I could get the audiobook.
Yeah, I was going to say, they make up books on tape.
Audiobook right there.
Yeah.
He's even got the audiobook.
Mm-hmm.
Vintage copy.
Found out,
I've seen the movie. What do I need to read a book for?
The book is much fucking darker.
I'll be like, I already know what's going to happen. The dinosaurs kill more people?
Yes.
And there's
gratuitous ways?
Well, the deaths are described very gruesomely. Like Dennis Nedry's is fucking horrifying, man.
Do kids die?
Yes. Baby dies at the very fucking beginning of the book.
Babies are eaten by dinosaurs out of cribs and shit.
By compies in Costa Rica.
Human babies?
Costa Rica.
Get eaten by dinosaurs?
Compies, yes.
Grant's like me.
I'll just read the
He's a
beginning.
digger.
Grant, you'll never get him out of Montana. So I've got some Ghostbusters notes in my Jurassic Park notes. Mostly because anything that reminds me of that, I'm like, ding-da-ding-da-ding. Gonna write it down. This movie opens up, though, and you forget, like every time I watch it, kind of forget that it opens up with a little bit of a scary spot.
Yeah, I didn't remember the opening when I watched it.
Really? You haven't seen this a lot? God damn.
Not in a long time, either.
The sound in this movie is fucking next level. And
I need to get a good
score-
surround system in a
It's a
house
good quality.
sometime because, yeah, This is a movie that needs turned up and like thumping.
And you need a 4K TV and a PlayStation.
I can deal with just the DVD, man. That's why I collect them. As you can tell, I can also deal with just VHS.
It's got improved sound too, right? It's not just video quality, right?
Depends.
4K, I think, just has the same full uncompressed audio files.
It depends on it depends on what they're pressing to it and stuff, and what they've done.
And they may have some other multi-channel mixes available on a 4K, but neither here nor there. We're talking Jurassic Park, but we get to see Muldoon right at the beginning. Pretty fucking terrifying because we get to see somebody die.
Yeah, this is a scene that's like, you know how automated the park is? And yet they still are like, gatekeeper! Let's have this dude get up here!
Which is an obvious reference to
the
Ghostbusters. Gatekeeper.
How did the
open
Jeeps
the gate
connect to the track?
I wouldn't call it a reference.
I know, but it's just a...
Yeah.
Joffrey, open the gate! And his name's actually Joffrey. I thought Muldoon just had a weird, like his Australian accent was, like.
And you think he's,
No, it's actually Joffrey. So
Joffrey.
Dog
Game of Thrones fans, you might recognize that name.
I watched the first season and a little of the second.
No, I'm good.
Yeah.
He gets fucked up, man, and then Taser's gone wild is my next note because
shoot her!
Everyone tased the fuck out of that.
Shoot her!
And this is the story that I'm assuming he talks about. We bred 8, and then this one came in and killed off all but 2 of the others.
Yeah.
And so, this one came in.
They should all be destroyed, a lot of them.
Mm-hmm. The water scene fade, though, it's terrifying. Shoot her, shoot her.
Yeah. That was always spooky as a kid. And I love the guy who looks in there with the mustache and like the mullet with the helmet on. May not even be a mullet. It may just be long hair, but it looks like a mullet with a helmet on, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It's hilarious.
And then Gennaro shows up, getting pulled in, and he basically explains the concept of the whole fucking rest of the movie to us. Like, we need these people to come in and...
They need Alan Grant. They want Alan Grant.
Grant, you'll never get Grant out of Montana right now. Some good lines in there, yeah.
Yeah, the music's already, like interesting and cool as fuck, too. The score's great.
Yeah, and you get to see that first amber and mosquito thing, like all the stuff they set you up for before you really kind of understand it.
Yeah.
Really well fucking made movie. And then everyone's all speaking in very grown-up terms. It's all very scientific. It's very educational as far as what's going on. Like, as a kid, you don't stop and think like, oh, the dialogue's fucking amazing. It's very existential and like...
I did as a kid.
Playing God. Yeah, you didn't even read the book yet.
I was in advanced classes.
Yeah, advanced classes. You're 3 years behind. It's fine.
Oh. So,
I didn't take shit for notes on this. I can just recall things. But what scene are we talking about here?
How does the Jeeps connect to the track?
They don't ever show that.
There's a big floppy dildo that connects them.
In the book, they're Land Rovers.
They not on a track?
Nope.
You're a Land Rover.
Well, they're electric on the track. I mean, it's all described in there, but you got to read for that. So.
It's kind of a ride.
Sorry, it's kind of a ride. And Hammond's a real cunt in the book, too.
He's kind of a cunt in real life. I mean,
he's a 1%er.
His personality isn't as cunty, but yeah.
How much money does that guy have?
I don't know.
A lot.
He's a 0.5%er.
He's an ass.
Yeah, so we cut to the bones and the brushes and the Badlands, which is a nice introduction to these characters, right? You get to see them working in their field and their expertise. And then we automatically see that Grant is hesitant of technology by the bullet shot down in there for the sonograph of the bones. A few more years, we won't even need to dig. Well, what's the fun of that? Like, he's really...
That was a weird impression, but yeah, that's the line.
I just did two fucking people talking like nonsense.
Just like him.
He sounded like a British guy.
Well, Sam Neill's not American.
I know.
Irish. He's isn't he a New Zealander?
No, he's Northern Ireland.
Fuck, I don't know. Don't look at me.
Sam Neill's Northern Ireland.
He's not American, I'll tell you that.
America.
Fuck no.
He's like Pierce Brosnan. Don't you hear that similar accent?
No.
They have a very similar... Pierce is a little thicker, I think. But
maybe you'll want to come over here and suck my dog.
Then they get to fucking scare the shit out of that little kid.
Sam Neill was almost Bond.
If you wanted to scare him, you could have pulled a gun on him.
There's two different dialogues happening. He's just
I want to talk
talking
about
literally.
James Bond now.
He's just like making a factoid
I'm
or a
trying to
statement,
ignore
and then
him.
you're doing the podcast like notes and moving forward, and it's fucking great.
Yeah, I'm just ignoring him and going down
Put
my
me
notes.
in one channel, and then Justin in, you know.
Ellie Sattler has like the OG dad joke in a movie, and so they go inside there for children. She's like, "What children? What are children?" She's like, "They're small versions of adults." It's one of those little jokes that I appreciate so much more now.
What was the joke?
Fuck you.
No, I don't remember the joke.
I'm not fucking repeating it.
You said it?
Take the dick out of your ears and listen up.
You said the joke?
What are kids? Small versions of you.
I didn't know if that was the joke. or just
Jesus
another
Christ.
Piece of
I said it
dialogue.
was a fucking dad joke by Ellie Sattler. What are you doing
That
with
was
it?
a
What's in Mexico?
That was a really bad day.
Mexicans. My stomach hurts. And I
Really?
can't tell if it's from laughing or just because I'm
Well, you
dying.
ate a whole row of party Oreos.
I ate like 5, like seriously, maybe 5. So that's not why.
Wow, I ate a whole row.
Oh, you're gonna.
Well, damn.
During the commentary on Lost Boys.
Lost Boys.
On the
And you're
pa-
still
on
you're
the-
still working
the
on your soda,
Patreon.
so your diabetes shouldn't be kicking in just yet.
Yeah, I drank my soda slow.
Hey, who's the jerk? Hammond comes in and he's just a fucking prick, but he's delightful. It's a pleasure to finally meet you.
Well, you skipped over Sam Neill and that little boy.
Well, I talked about it. It's just not that exciting. He's just a dick to him. She's like, if you wanted to scare him, you could have pulled a gun on him. I said that line. You just weren't
Maybe it
listening.
takes that fucking claw.
So I said you here, or here, or maybe across the belly. But the point is,
That little boy played.
you
Hard
number one
when he
guy.
starts to eat you.
That little boy
wrong.
played. That little boy played Frasier's son on the TV show Frasier.
Nick's doing it again.
Play the thanks, Dad. He's just trying to get distracted here.
That is a factoid that a lot of people don't know.
Everything you're doing is bad.
I want you to know this.
That's the wrong button.
I don't remember asking you a goddamn thing.
He's in this movie.
Then we get Dodson and Nedry. It's fucking amazing. This scene right here, man. I tell you what.
Nedry was in Seinfeld.
I will crush your bones to dust.
Nedry, man. Dodson! Dodson! We got Dodson here! See,
See,
nobody
nobody
cares.
Oh my
I love
god,
that.
he gets so excited over the.
It's those little lines of dialogue, too,
It's a
that you're
great
not
scene.
always paying attention to.
I've never seen someone so excited for something.
The one line that he says is like, don't get cheap on me, Dodson.
Buy my
And then
dinner.
I'm always paying attention to Dodson getting his billfold out to pay it, or like looking at the check, and then under his breath he kind of mutters, "That was Hammond's mistake." And I'm like, "Oh yeah,
Oh, I've always noticed that. Yeah. Well, at least in my adult viewings.
yeah." It's just one of those lines. I guess I'm not paying super close attention to it, so I'm like, "Oh yeah." He's
Also,
basically telling
having
you.
the captions on, huh?
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, yeah.
I love the pure childlike delight. Like, did they show him the can that actually has the shaving cream on it on set? Because I wouldn't have told him what it was. I'd have just had him like really do that because
He's
his
so giggly.
reaction is
That was
perfect.
great. Yeah, he's perfect there.
Yeah. And then he a regular or a menthol, and then he wipes it on the fucking cake. Like, who are you gonna feed there the pie? Who are you gonna feed that to? Yourself? And you look at him, you're like, well, maybe he is gonna eat it. I don't know. But they fat shame the fuck out of Nedry in this movie.
Do they?
Yeah, Hammond does. Where's Nedry? Check the vending machines.
No, he said he was going to the vending machine though.
Yeah, he did.
He said,
Yeah.
Does anyone else want a soda or whatever?
Cause I was going to go to the vending machines
was
and
very
I was gonna get a soda.
I need something salty.
Oh,
I
I
just had
finished
something sweet.
debugging all those
Yeah,
the computers
some of the
the
security
phones
systems might
the phones of the.
Yeah,
Like, so you
he's
want to be
so
too-
good in this, though, man. You forget, like, he's one of those side characters. Man, my voice is out of control. I can't help it.
You need like a steroid injection.
I don't know about that.
Holy shit!
Yeah, holy shit.
Oh my god! I can't wait to listen back to that.
Jeep's 18 and 25.
It's like Peter Brady in
What
the
they
Brady
arrive.
Bunch movies.
We can't forget Ian Malcolm, though. The intro to Ian Malcolm's
Yeah.
pretty much perfect.
Every scene
I
that
bring
he's-
the scientist, you bring the rock star. So you two dig up dinosaurs. It's perfect. I mean, you really get a sense of that this man's eccentric as fuck.
Yeah.
And he is.
And a sex master.
Oh.
I mean, that's already fucking given. Just look at him.
Yeah. Him and Kiefer Sutherland, man.
I love how Ellie is like looking at this plant as she's driving along in this Jeep, and she's like, "This shouldn't be here." And
Yeah, she's looking at a leaf
and
instead of
fucking
a dinosaur.
Alan Grant's like, "You dumb bastard!" Looks up and he like grabs her head and has to show her like the fucking dinosaur in front of her. Yeah.
But they don't notice the 100 dinosaurs.
But she's
in
a
the background.
paleobotanist, so that makes sense that she's interested in the plant life.
Mm-hmm. She's like, I wonder if you could smoke this and get high.
That's a damn fine question.
Might just be me wondering
I
that
think she
watching
would
this.
know.
That Ellie Sattler is you. That is who you are. You can be who you want to be in this movie.
I should do an Ellie Sattler cosplay.
Fuck yeah, why not?
People
gender bend cosplays all the time.
eat that shit up.
Dye your hair blonde.
And by that shit, I mean my ass.
That's on Alex OnlyFans.
I'm gonna do the
not on our Patreon.
I do exclusively Laura Dern cosplays for my OnlyFans. So
I love how fucking fast Gennaro flips his script as soon as he's on the island. We're gonna make a fortune.
and people will pay it.
I'm sorry.
We charge whatever we want.
But I'm gonna have to say goodnight.
Yeah, exactly. These aren't credit cards.
You forget he's in Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, man. I just get these weird thoughts in my head, and I just want to splice dialogue for characters when I watch this shit so many times.
Mm-hmm.
Just get weird with it. Mr. DNA. I'm gonna get
Mr.
a
DNA.
Mr. DNA. Oh,
Where did you come from?
from your blood.
Exactly. I need to get that as just a sound clip. From your blood.
Yes, please do it. Mr. DNA is great. That whole sequence is great. And then Hammond goes on about, this music's only temporary. We're going to have, basically explains it. He's not being a cheapskate, but it's not done.
How do you interrupt the cellular mitosis?
Stops the
Is
ride.
this a dad joke?
No, it's an obscure line I like. Just one of those like quiet ones that you're not meant to really fully understand, but it is a real like thing he's talking about. But it's funny to me.
Sure hurts my ass.
Just like I've got a gas-powered Jeep, I can drop her off at the visitor center.
Yeah, he's going to drop her off at the visitor center.
Yeah, he is.
So we get to meet Henry Wu and all that, and then John Hammond comes in acting like he's there for every birth.
All the dinosaurs in Jurassic Park are female. We've engineered them that way.
Yeah, he's pompous as fuck.
Does that mean there's a bunch of trans dinosaurs? Is he waiting till they're born? That'd be fucked up.
I don't know.
Is somebody going out there into the park and lifting up the dinosaurs' skirts?
Well, I think they
That's a line. No, I know what he's talking about. I was just being an asshole.
But that's early on. That just shows
life
you.
will find a way.
Exactly.
You never stop to think if you should.
There's frog DNA.
But
what I love is the horn in that clip.
They're reiterating all the concepts of this movie of like how this whole thing is disaster.
Yeah, Malcolm's right the entire movie. You don't realize that as a kid or anything. You just think he's this wacky, eccentric motherfucker. But he's like totally like the most...
Yeah, he's warning them the whole
correct.
time.
He's right, and then he gets this chaos theory into Ellie's head and then to Grant.
Well, and then they both are in agreement. Like, this is pretty fucked up here, and I love dinosaurs, and it's like I'm seeing a dinosaur. So like you can see, there's just character differences where Malcolm's like, I don't study dinosaurs. This is cool as hell to see a dinosaur, but he's not even like worried about that part at all. He's just like
he's worried about them playing God. Is basically what he's worried about.
What you call what does he say? Creation? I call just
rape of the natural
rape of the natural world. That whole line.
Yeah.
He has lots of good ones, good pieces of info he drops.
And if you read the books, like they all have the little segments with all his.
Don't you see the inherent danger in what you're doing here?
T-Rex doesn't want to be fed; it wants to hunt.
What does he say? You have the power of God, and you wield it like a kid who's found his father's gun.
Yeah, that's fucking so accurate, though, isn't it? Like, that's a well-written line. So we find out that they meet Muldoon, So this is the second time we meet Muldoon. Only this time he's just like fucking casual dick swinging and he comes in swinging, you know?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you see the tip hanging out of those shorts.
Basically, them some short shorts there. But those socks, though, man. Those socks and shorts combo makes up for it.
It's lethal. And when it's full grown.
I do think lethal. 7 months.
I'm gonna
go to hell when I die. I'm gonna go to hell when I die.
I'm aching over here.
Your stomach really hurting?
Yeah. Weird.
So
I poisoned your root beer.
Tim is talking shit. Tim is talking shit to Alan Grant. There's this other book by a guy named Backert. It's like this big, and I bet his wasn't fully illustrated. And Ellie fucking cuts him too. Like, damn, that's your coworker, your peer. You're gonna let her cut you like that? You're gonna let? No wonder he fucking hates kids. This little smart ass kids.
That's daddy.
He made a children's book though.
And then he's like also reading Omni magazine. This I read an Omni, which is proton packs are on the cover of Omni. So that's that actually that would have been a good Easter egg in this movie, having him have a copy of Omni with the proton pack on it. But
is it the same universe?
It's the same magazine, not universe though. Oh, and one of my favorite lines in the whole fucking movie is "God help us, we're in the hands of engineers" by Ian Malcolm, which is pretty scary. Good friend of mine, Joel, was teaching math, and he's like,
I think we already are.
Yeah, and he's like basically telling me how scared he was about like walking on anything structural, like after teaching engineering students math. And I'm like, thanks. That's really reassuring.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I said Tim's creeping on Grant, so. Richard Kiley does an amazing voice.
Spared no expense.
Yeah.
He says that like 6 or 7 times in this movie. It's great. Reoccurring. You don't notice that as a kid. It's kind of, he just slips it in there and it's natural. That's how well he does it.
You don't think about expenses when you're a kid.
Exactly. You don't really give a fuck.
No, like, when's the next dinosaur scene, you pricks?
What do they see first? Dilophosaurus is one of the first ones.
There's a no-show. Then Ian's hitting on Ellie with his water driplets.
Yeah.
He's got to get her all wet,
because small curvatures in the hand.
And the tiny hair
and
follicles.
Imperfections.
Where do you think it's going to go? She's like, that's great. It's
hey,
very well
hey, Alan, take a look at this.
Then they get out of there.
I'm going to cook Alan.
Eventually, might there be dinosaurs on this dinosaur tour?
Hello? That's one of my, I lose my shit every time when I see that.
He's talking shit on this whole park, and yet he still has the audacity to ask where the fucking dinosaurs are. Like, he's curious about
Eventually, you do plan to have dinosaurs on your dinosaur tour, right? And then he's tapping the camera. Hello? And then the slow zoom out of him just like, I really hate that man.
I really do hate that man. Uh-huh.
I love it.
Then the control room is well done. Like, Ray Arnold is way undercredited in this film. His character.
Yeah, he's good.
I mean, growing up, like, that's the first movie I remember seeing Sam Jackson in. So you're like, okay,
Mhm.
hold on to your butts, which is his catchphrase. He says it more than once.
Also, motherfucker.
Yeah.
But he doesn't drop that in this.
No.
I'm tired of these motherfucking raptors in this motherfucking dinosaur park.
Mm-hmm. One question I have is, though, is how did his arm get severed? His arm's clean off of there.
He was doing, it's sort of like autoerotic asphyxiation, but where you cut the blood out, circulation off your arm, and he accidentally got carried away.
Okay.
Actual cause of death. I've seen the autopsy, so.
Okay, thanks. I appreciate it.
I wrote it.
I think I say he cuts his arm off and he strangles himself with the severed arm.
And that would work too.
Woman inherits the earth. Did you just rip ass?
No, sliding.
Squeaking his ass on this
Thank
shit
God.
over here.
Well,
then you get the Triceratops, the sick Triceratops. That is one big pile of shit. Like all these quotable great lines.
Mm-hmm. But sure to wash your hands before you eat anything.
Do they touch on that again? The sick.
No. So here's the thing that pisses me off about this movie that they don't ever tell you. And it's stegosaurs in the book instead of the Triceratops. But basically, they're saying that the Triceratops scoops these rocks up to help with digestion, and that's where those lilac berries were getting in. and it's not in their stomach, so it's not in the feces because they regurgitate the rocks once they become smooth and no longer help with the digestion process. So they don't explain that in this movie, which makes no sense because like they hype it all up like it's going to be this big reveal, and then they never fucking tell you the reveal. So unless you've read the book, you have no fucking idea what they're actually talking about because they don't explain why. She just digs through the shit for fun.
We know they're toxic, but the animals don't eat them.
Yes. But it's
Are you sure?
Pretty
Only
sure.
one way to find out.
Yeah.
They should have went inside the poop pile fully.
No, they did a good enough job there, I think.
Yeah, I think
They should have walked into it and then.
But in the book, they basically explain that they find these pebbles of rocks regurgitated that have been.
They eat rocks for digestion.
Yeah, because the rocks help grind the plant matter up.
He was just talking about that.
No, I know, but I never heard that. Is that a thing?
I don't know. I mean, we don't really know how those dinosaurs digested shit.
How would dinosaurs think of that?
They wouldn't. It'd be in there. Be built into the things.
That'd be how they evolved, Nick. Unless you think.
How do you know how
dinosaurs
to
are 5,000
fucking
years
jerk
old.
off?
Well, I never would have thought to eat a rock as a dinosaur.
I mean, you can't say that.
All I'm saying
Well,
is
you
that
get a tingle in your dick. That's
You're
how you
not a
know how to beat
dinosaur.
off.
Yeah, you might get a tingle in your stomach. You're like, oh, that rock looks fucking delicious.
all I'm saying is that that's an important part of the movie, and they don't ever fucking explain what the hell's going on. Booger, get off the fucking camera. You see the goddamn earthquake on camera. It's not the T-Rex.
We just had a
it's the
4.3
Booger Rex.
on the Richter.
The Andy Richter scale.
Yeah. The Andy Richter scale.
No, that's like something. We need to write that into a sketch where
Yeah.
somebody's just so dumb that's what they think it is. The Andy Richter scale.
Probably get Andy on.
Is
the
that like when he
show.
sits on the couch, moves it around?
I don't think we could get Andy Richter on the podcast,
think
but
so.
I would definitely love it. He has his own podcast. He's on Conan's podcast network.
Oh, does he do the? I haven't listened to that yet.
No, Conan does his own podcast. With
Andy
his
does his own.
Yeah, Andy has
Actually,
his own.
I think I saw that listed on Spotify. Now that I think about it.
He also hosts Rob Lowe's podcast, like not Andy Richter, but I mean Conan's podcast network. Like produces that. That's interesting.
Well, back to the film. So after that, I'm in a gas-powered Jeep. I can drop her at the visitor center. Cool. So she stays behind. Chaos ensues.
Oh.
Nedry goes berserk. For greed.
Mm-hmm.
You know anyone that can bid what I bid for this job?
You gotta give me 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Captain says, we gotta go. It's a whole other thing in there. And then the whole MacGuffin of the shaving cream can was just meant to be that, like, all this work that was worth so much money is just lost. It's not that it was like, ooh, it's going to be found and revived later. It's like all this money was just thrown away because no one knew what to do, or this is just completely lost. So that was part
it
of
would die if it's not in the cold. That's the whole point of the cold canister. It'd be useless without that.
Yes, it's not preserved in there. It's basically just completely lost to the financial game.
I mean, it's cool to think about, but it's like, we're good.
That's not
We
what
don't
they
need
intended it for, though, which, I mean, obviously, when you look at it, you can make other interpretations. So,
Nick's playing with toys. So, and then there's some dinosaurs in the movie. No, I'm just tired. What?
The T-Rex scene, man.
Oh, yeah, we get to the Tyrannosaurus paddock. And
they're coming back and they're stuck, and then, obviously, Tim's fucking around, finds... Obviously, the props in this movie are amazing. The Jeep's iconic, the Explorer's iconic. The night vision goggles are fucking amazing.
They put the goat out.
Yep, the goat. What's the matter, kid? You never had lamb chops?
I happen to be a vegetarian.
Yep.
And then, Tim has the goggles on and shit.
And that fucking leg of the lamb
those.
fucking landed on the roof of the car.
Yeah.
It's terrifying as a kid. You're like, that's fucking disgusting.
Lamb chop.
The sound in this scenes are great, like the rain dripping on the car, and it's just spooky in general. This scene, with the T-Rex in the rain, looks fucking incredible still, because it's a mix of a puppet and CGI, and it goes back and forth with both of them.
It's mostly the...
Yeah, it's mostly the big animatronic puppet.
Yeah, that they had to fucking dump rain on.
Which stopped working. It would have seizures in the rain because of the electronics.
Yeah.
It wasn't as bad as the Jaws set, but the T-Rex would shake because of that. The water and the shit and the weight. of
Yeah.
the water being absorbed into the T-Rex, basically.
People thought it was alive.
Yeah, but it did look real as fuck. It
Yeah,
looked creepy as hell, man.
Yeah.
They're realistic looking.
Fucking well done scene, man. I mean, that's still terrifying. That all.
Yeah, it's less terrifying, but just more cool to me. It's like watching a disaster movie, as
Yeah.
opposed to like a horror movie for me. But
No,
I enjoy the shit out of it. That's like the most iconic scene of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
That whole T-Rex scene, and then
The one
obviously
that's spoofed the most.
the explorer getting stuck in the tree and falling down is
Wayne's
pretty
World.
good too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, even Wayne's World spoofing it too.
Yeah, I love that. Wayne's World 2, I guess, did that, huh?
Yeah,
I think so.
Because that's the same year.
yeah. I think they just went over onto that lot and fucking filmed right there and used the same assets probably. Don't know.
I don't know. Is that as? Aren't they Paramount?
Wayne's World was.
Yeah, so probably not.
Well, I mean, they still may have been able to rent the T-Rex.
No, they didn't have a T-Rex. They had maybe that.
Yeah, I think
maybe
they just
the
rented
scale, just the eye or whatever.
just the fucking head piece to do that with. Yeah.
Hmm.
That's an amazing piece of movie history right there, though. Just that whole scene. And then we kind of shift gears here after this, right? Everyone's
left
kind
us.
of on the run.
He left us.
But that's not what I'm gonna do.
When you gotta go, you gotta go. All the quotable fucking shit.
And the reluctant anti-dad hero has to become the dad hero.
Turn the light off. Turn the light off.
Yeah, she's fucking done with that flashlight.
She's terrified.
I'm scared of the dinosaur. I'm not.
No,
gonna
they're
say,
fucking
"Hey, come
idiots.
get us."
Oh yeah, they are. Yeah.
Let me continue pointing it up instead of at least just pointing it down.
They all are
Right,
too. I mean,
exactly.
Ian has his best intentions, but he almost gets killed too, right?
Yeah. Hey! Ian, freeze!
Then he gets knocked over there by the toilet.
Yeah. And then Gennaro gets eaten.
That's one of my favorite fucking death scenes in the whole movie.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go.
He's like putting his hair to the side.
Fucking
Fucking
little
just eaten.
toilet shack falls down, and then he gets eaten off the toilet.
Like Elvis.
Elvis got his ass eaten on the toilet. Maybe.
Elvis makes his moment in this film, but that's not it. You didn't say the magic word. They're flocking this way.
What the fuck are we talking about? What scene now? I'm just lost now.
Well, you're getting to them.
Gennaro just got ate on the toilet.
Coming
Oh,
back,
yes,
and
that's
then
it. Then they go to look for them, Muldoon and Ellie.
Mm-hmm.
But that's also kind of when you have that cool scene of the car falling and them avoiding it on the rope and shit. And that scene still, that's the one that looks, I mean, if you're really looking at it close up, and I imagine if you had it on Blu-ray, it would look a little, but it still looks pretty good.
it's practical, so if you're not
it's
paying
not all
attention to that,
practical.
yeah.
I HBO Maxed it on the big screen last night. It looked pretty good.
Okay, well, there you go.
I mean, some of
It's CG at
I
some
didn't have
point,
my
like a completely
magnifying
CG
glass
car at
out,
one
but-
point. So,
yeah, there's a couple. It's a good mix though.
like when it runs right past them, it's CG because they're not about to fucking do that, even though they're stunt people. But you can see they did replace stunt actors' faces in this. Have you seen that behind the scenes? There's a scene where they show
The big one
the
is
little
when
girl,
Lexi
yeah,
is hanging
Lexi
there.
hangs, and they just show the stunt actor's face, and they replaced her face. They probably didn't do it a bunch more than like that, maybe one or two other occasions.
I
don't
think.
know,
Well,
but-
that's a direct on shot, and that's also like when he has
Oh, they
to
did a
grab her
CGI
ass to lift
face
her up in
swap
there.
back then.
Mm-hmm.
it's crazy.
Good. Pretty good.
Yeah.
Well, it's a brief action shot, so it's a little shaky too.
I
so,
do
mean,
really like the Muldoon and Ellie out there, though. She's just like, I'm coming with you. This is fucked. And then I like how the first thing you hear from Malcolm is like this weird, like, like you just hear him like
Yeah, he's
moaning.
over there fucking moaning.
It sounds like a ghost moan, though. It's the other car.
The other car. They go down there too, which is crazy.
Dr. Grant. And then they basically see that they've walked away, and then you go over to Grant and them, and he's washing his face off in the stream.
Face Off, that's a great movie.
Yes, it is. I actually just watched it recently.
There's so many
talking about making a remake or something.
Who are you going to put in it these days?
They're the same actors.
All right, let's get back on track to this. I don't want to talk about fucking Face Off while we're reviewing Jurassic Park.
I do.
Fuck that.
They're so similar.
We could do dead people. You could take their faces off pretty easily. Sean Connery, he's dead. Sure, his face is still around.
Sean Connery and then another James Bond, like Roger Moore.
Fuck it. There you go. Face off.
All right. Well,
I'm going to make a... You know what? Is there a porn parody of Face Off called Cock Off? Or Dick Off?
Facial off.
We're going to trade penises. That'd be amazing. You have to trade penises. You know what's fucked up is they must have the same. Their penises have to look very similar because
their fucking whole body shape and.
Well, no, their penis very specifically though, and their bodies. But
in Face Off, their bodies are completely.
Well,
different.
listen.
Like Cage
John
is
Travolta's
like
the good guy. He's the cop
skinny.
who's getting his face swapped with Nicolas Cage, who's the villain. Right? That's the plot. Right? But when Nicolas Cage's character, the evil guy, gets John Travolta's face, he goes and fucks John Travolta's wife.
Yeah, but they have completely different bodies too. Is what I'm saying.
And dicks.
You're right.
What if one was cut like he grew a foreskin?
And she's like, "Ooh,
you have foreskin now? What the fuck is this? Where did this come from?"
They didn't think about that when they wrote the movie.
Or like, what if it
think
was
that'll be on the tour?
What if it was just much smaller and she was just like, "What?
What happened?"
Like, no. Like if it was bigger, it'd obviously probably be like.
Well, then she might think
okay.
he's not fully hard, but if it's like bigger than normal,
well, it would look. What if it was just different colored, man?
I feel like.
You know how there's different colored fleshy cocks, so.
Like warts on it.
What if you had a Prince Albert? Just like you got a Prince Albert.
When did you do that? On lunch? Lunch break?
If you had one ball. Or 3.
Yeah, testicular cancer.
Yeah. What if he had a tattoo on his dick?
Alec is high as balls right now. I don't feel like normally you'd entertain it to this level.
Why not?
He loves Face Off. He just watched it.
Yeah, I do love Face Off. John Woo, man. Good shit.
All right, where were we?
Jurassic Park.
Cack. Well, I think that's extinct. No, the ending in this movie is amazing, but you get the whole raptor sequence after you get a few more T-Rex encounters, and then the electrical fence is just as fucking frightening as any of the engineered dinosaurs.
I really like the T-Rex chase scene when they're in the Jeep. Must go faster, all that.
Yeah.
Which is also repeated in Independence Day by Jeff Goldblum.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Which confused me as a kid because I would see one and see the other and be like, I don't even remember which one it's from now, every time I saw the other one.
You did Leo DiCaprio?
No, because I would think... I didn't realize it was in both as a kid. I thought it was only in one of them. So every time I watched one of them, I'd be like, okay, this is
confused.
This is the one that it's in. Okay, I know now. And then I'd watch it and be like, wait, no! I swear to God, it was in the other one. Didn't realize it was just them doing a Goldblum-y thing.
Yeah, or Goldblum just improvising.
Yeah.
It's weird to think they're only like 3 years apart.
They're close.
Yeah. They're super close.
Yeah.
Jurassic Park is knocking on the back door. Close.
Well, then we get the whole Dennis Nedry going in and stealing the embryos, which is a good scene, because you get to see some of the behind-the-scenes science shit in there, which is actually compelling.
Mm-hmm.
Goes through and gets all 15 species.
I love it. He gets in the fucking Jeep, right? And he's driving the Jeep.
He drive like a
and he hits the fucking sign. Gets up, puts it up. Realizes that he fixed it and doesn't know which way it actually goes, and then just spins it.
It's like a Looney Tunes thing.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Well, then he's like trying to defog his glasses, so his glasses are fogged and the fucking windshield's fogged from the rain, which is great because anyone that's fucking dealt with that, right, sucks.
Yep. And then he runs in to the Dilophosaurus.
That's a great encounter,
which
too.
is back in Dominion. Hasn't been seen since this movie.
Nope.
And it's one of my favorites. Regardless of its inaccuracies, I don't give a fuck about that because they're obviously genetic mutations anyway.
Yeah, I was going to say there's nothing accurate about these because they used frog DNA in there, so whatever the fuck else happened.
Mm-hmm. So, I love the Dilophosaurus. I love how it's like cute at first, and it's like luring his ass in. It's like, well, what you got to offer me? I don't know. I might not kill you, but I'm probably gonna kill you and eat you.
Yeah, it does, because the shape of its head, the way it's bobbing, it's like smaller dinosaur, right?
He's like, oh, you're not as bad as your big brothers.
Yeah, see the stick? Fetch a stick.
Stick, stupid.
But then he insults him, yeah.
I got the Dennis Nedry and Dilophosaurus 2-pack, and he comes with the stick, and it looks just like the stick. It's shaped like it. It's perfect.
Yeah.
Like a stick?
Yeah. Like the stick, because it has a little 2-part breaks on the end. A branch.
Mm-hmm.
And I love when he's like, it's fucking scary as hell, because he shoots him once, right? And then he climbs, and he's climbing, and he's fucking screaming. And then he gets inside, and he's wiping it off or whatever, and then he's like, breathes or whatever, and he looks over, and it's like a fucking comedy bit. The goddamn dinosaur's just like staring at him like, hey, buddy, and it starts doing the noise and the thing, and you just hear the screaming, and it shakes, and it just shows it from the outside.
The fucking sound design's great. And then him just
so
tripping
good.
up the... him tripping up the hill, dropping the can and everything. It's a very great scene.
Broke his glasses and shit, or lost them.
So you get a good mixture of dinosaurs in here that are actually killing people, which is nice.
Well, some of them too, like they're clearly all of them are dangerous in some capacity to another. Like even the Gallimimus almost trample them just because they're fucking doing their shit.
Well, and Richard Kiley tells you exactly what's going to happen with the Dilophosaurus. You just don't know until later on that venom that it spits is toxic and
Yeah.
And I love how they say it basically burns and causes paralysis and blindness. So,
fucked up.
Like, so it clearly hurts him.
And then the kids and Alan,
they sleep and they get skeeted on by the Brachiosaurus.
Yeah.
Vegisaurus Rex! Oh my god. Some of those lines are cringeworthy, but like they just...
Yeah. Children are kind of cringy, so it happens.
Yeah, that's true.
It works. Yeah, that scene's interesting, and then he throws his raptor claw. He's like, fuck dinosaurs.
Yeah, he's giving up on it. Yeah, he's over it.
And he grabs a machine gun.
Yeah. And then he burns the whole island down, and there were no sequels.
Oh, wait, that's what happened at the end of the book. They burned the island down. The Costa Rican government does. That's why they had to come up with Site B for the second movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like an airstrike?
Yes, they fucking napalm the entire island.
That's great.
Then we get to see Muldoon be not the badass that we think he is when he helps Ellie go turn the lights on. We get all the tension of the computers going off and on. That's a good setup.
Yeah, you get all the
bunker scene, right? So if you look
and you get the Goldblum laying out too.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Look above you. There's gonna be some. There should be some piping. You're gonna follow that.
Yeah. Then you get the whole gender semantics. Well, shouldn't I be going because I'm a... And you're... She's like, we'll talk about gender and surviving.
Yeah, later or some shit. That's a good one. I like. He tells her to go because he's got it. But then we see, as Grant says in the beginning of the movie, explains how the raptors hunt.
Exactly.
We see the exact
Everything
thing.
is like foreshadowed in this, and then when it happens, like you're surprised, even though you fucking know it's going to happen.
Yeah, they tell you how raptors hunt.
Yeah, but that's not when the attack comes from the front, but from the side.
Clever girl.
That's exactly how Muldoon goes out.
Clever girl.
Which Muldoon doesn't die in the book. Hammond does. Hammond gets killed by the junior T-Rex that we never see.
Keep spoiling the book. I can't read it now.
You need to read it now. You're not going to remember any of this. You're not even barely listening to me, you son of a bitch.
They napalmed the island.
Hammond sits on a wine bottle in the book.
Shaped like a velociraptor cock. It's a bad dragon of velociraptors. Anyway. You get to this final sequence where you get all the raptors. The raptors in the kitchen's a great scene.
Yep, I like the toe tapping, the door opening.
Mm-hmm.
I do that shit, like to people's doors and shit. I'll walk up and
just snarl on the glass and breathe on it.
You can barely see my face and breathe on it, and then look down and open the door.
good stuff.
Yeah, that's raptors are great in this. And then they're all back together.
Together.
The computer hacking bullshit. Yeah, 90s movies. That's one of the few weak things in this movie is that computer hacking sequence, but it's a movie, so.
Yeah, and it's interesting.
I'm in.
Movies never do hacking very well.
I know this. This is a Unix system. Okay, great. Thanks.
Does that mean it has no balls? It's a Unix system.
They chopped them off so it could keep its falsetto voice. So it could still be a soprano.
Like Michael Jackson.
Only that may have happened.
Exactly.
His dad was a monster.
That's why I said it.
Which in turn made him kind of a monster.
So now we're talking Michael Jackson. Nick's like, nope.
There was a hair on my microphone.
Oh, yes, the one I used to mic up my butt when I'm sliding stuff in it. You know, you get the extra sloppiness and this.
Well, you also get the birds flying away from the island as they're on the helicopter and get out of there.
Mm-hmm.
Which is great.
Yeah.
This soft, calm music.
One
thing that's underrated about this movie is that Hammond just shows up around front with fucking Ian and the Jeep are ready to go, and they're all loaded up and ready, and you're like, you couldn't have done this a little while ago?
Right.
But the raptor scene, like where the Rex kind of takes care of the raptors, it's a good scene. You know, just shows animals fighting animals, which I think works well.
Yeah.
It's crazy to think that we've gone from this level of straightforward, serious story. Like most of the dialogue's based at adults talking about the ethics involved of playing God and all this shit, and all the stuff's foreshadowed at, and none of the sequels are ever able to replicate that level of seriousness to them, or that level of quality of dialogue. Even The Lost World has just changed so much from the book that you lose some of that.
Yeah. I feel that.
So, but, I mean, this is one of the best movies.
Yeah. I'm yawning because I'm just tired and high, but
yeah,
it's real
almost
good.
1 a.m. here.
It's very
it's a classic, that's
enjoyable.
for sure. I love it.
Well, that has been episode 100 of the Frog Brothers podcast. Thank you for listening. Yeah. Here, I'm going to give you some information. Hey guys, thanks for listening to the Frog Brothers podcast. We'd greatly appreciate it if you could like and subscribe if you're listening on YouTube. And if you're listening on the audio feed on Spotify or Apple or Twitch or wherever you listen, tell your friends and make sure to subscribe to our YouTube at youtube.com/thefrogbros. Hit us up on Instagram at Frog Bros Podcast, on Twitter at bros_frog, on TikTok at Frog Bros Podcast, and follow us on Facebook. Join our Facebook group Frog Bros Video by searching just that, Frog Bros Video. Hit request to join and you'll be approved. We have shirts available. The link is in our Instagram bio and below in the description. And you can find stickers on Etsy at Frog Bros, all one word. Additionally, if you'd like to give us a call and leave a voicemail soon, our Patreon will be live and we'll be posting monthly responses and reactions to the voicemails. Dial 816-832-5388.